Kachiana virus has me working from home. A lot of you don't know, I actually work for the FBI. I work undercover in the Vice division. And you would not believe how many times I'm getting solicited at my house. So I decided to take a break from that and review this piece for you guys. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. My name is Mr. X. This is XM Studios Black Panther 1/4 comic scale. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. My name is Mr. X. This is a statue by XM Studios. They made a 1/4 scale Black Panther comic version statue years ago. So we're reviewing this today because we continually have delays on new products. I've had this piece for a while. When I review something, I kind of get a newfound love for it, and that is definitely the case here. I'm really impressed, kind of a spoiler. Second is there's some new Black Panther statues coming out. First and foremost, Sideshow revealed their new Black Panther, part of their Avengers Assemble line right here. This is 1/5 scale. That's why I don't like it. Simple as that. There's another custom one that I actually have bought this. It's with the painter. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to hold on to it or not, but it's going to be phenomenal looking for sure. And then there's actually teasing another one. Here it is right here. Very, very cool as well, which I think I'm going to pull the trigger on this one. The big problem with all this, if you follow the channel, you know that I'm getting out of the Avengers line. Now, whether you follow the channel or not, because over half the people that watch are not subscribers, we are giving away some shit. So first, we're giving away these two Venom statues. Hit that like button right now. Stay tuned towards the end of the video and you'll find out how to win. Second is, on the 15th of every month, we give Extrizes or Extreme Prize gift baskets out. We send them to you. So make sure to comment below. If you comment below, you're entered into it. We pick a random video, we pick a random comment, and then we send those gift baskets all out to you every single month. But let's dive right into this guy. As I said, he was made by XM Studios, which is primarily known for their comic-based statues. So it's very rarely off a movie version. This was, I'm pretty sure this predated the actual Black Panther movie that came out before Black Panther got involved in the whole MCU, which ironically, one of the reasons I'm reviewing him is my son and I watched it the other day for the second time. It's a good movie. I don't think it's amazing. It's not one of the best in the MCU, but it's definitely entertaining. XM Studios made 800 of these. That is the ES or the edition size. And this was so long ago that the statues were actually decently affordable then. It was about $600, $650 US dollars depending on the exchange rate at the time. But I've had him for a while. He usually sells for more than that. Right now you can usually find him between $900 and $1,100 USD shipped. Anything higher than that you're kind of overpaying. But he is an awesome piece. He really is. So let's just dive right into the review. And as always, we're going to start with concept because it's based off the comics and they take their own interpretation. We can't really reference, is it cool compared to a movie or is it cool compared to a specific cover? At the base is a lot of Black Panther Wakanda roots. You have not only kind of this stone African type base, but there's a pedestal in the back and he is in a dynamic pose, action. He's in the middle of an action or a battle. He is crouched down, even more panther-like. His cape is flowing in the wind, whether he just jumped there or it's a windy day. He has this big frickin' spear and he's clawed up the bottom and he is ready to pounce. It is such a cool action dynamic pose. I like that they have the different heritage. This is a very, very cool concept. And, you know, after I opened this years ago, it was, I stared at it and I loved it. And then I kind of put him over to the Avengers display. So overall, I love the concept. XM Studios knocked it out of the park. I'm going to give the concept actually an X. I think it's fantastic. I think it's perfect. That's what I'd want out of Black Panther. However, a lot of you are thinking, well, this piece, there's some questionable issues with it, and I think those come into design, which is what we're going to talk about right now. Design is about displayability, seam lines, construction, engineering. So let's really just start off. First of all, it does have a switch out, so it has two different portraits it comes with. XM Studios doesn't do an exclusive, it's just, hey, all of them are the same. So first you have the masthead, and this is my preference by far. Or you have an unmasked head, which is also done very well. And we're going to review both in Paint and Sculpt. So let's talk about the design issues. First design issue is he's crouching over like this. This cannot be on a bottom shelf, otherwise you're just looking at the top of his cape, which is where mine is, which is probably why I wasn't such a huge fan of this. But now that he's eye level, I'm a much bigger fan. So that's one design issue. So that's a huge design issue. You know, when you have a statue, you have to think about displayability. Will it look good? If it's not going to look good, or if it has to be in a specific place, and that ruins the rest of your design. So they lose a lot of points for that, unfortunately. I appreciate the concept of it, but the reality is a statue who is hunched over is not a smart move. Second, the base takes up a lot of room, and nowadays bases are getting bigger and bigger. However, when this came out, this was known as a big base, and there's a lot of wasted space on here. And the other thing, when we get to Paint and Sculpt, I'm just kind of a spoiler, the base is not very good. So not only did you waste space with base, you wasted space with base that isn't that great. Wasted space with base. Yeah. Let's get dimensions, talking about how big it is. Great conversation to have. 16 inches wide, about 16 inches deep, and then the tallest point is probably the cat pedestal or cat statue, 20. About 20. And the spear, just for your information, is 22 inches long. But with all that being said, there aren't any seam lines or issues like that. It is made of mixed media and sculpted, mostly sculpted. I think they did a lot of things very well. It sits very well. And again, as usual, the design, it kind of evens out. It's very nice. It's nothing to write home about, but I think it's personally a huge miss that he's squatted over, and you have to elevate him to appreciate him. Now, I alluded that the paint and sculpt on the base isn't very good. Black Panther is. So this is going to be one of those very difficult things to review because the base is much different than the character. You know, some other channels like Half-Fast Reviews, go check them out, by the way. They're an awesome channel. They're a newer channel. They sometimes rate the base and the character separately, which I see a need for that in situations like this, but we're going to try and figure out some way to do it together. Look at the base. So first, the rocks suck. Paint's okay on it. They could have used some more shading, but the real problem is the sculpt. They don't look like real rocks. It looks plasticky. It looks fake. It looks like a toy. They could have used some more variation in the sculpt, especially some of the detail to give it more of a rocky texture. I think that's a big miss. These vines they have growing over it, crap sculpt, crap paint. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of XM Studios, but I think this is a big miss. It just doesn't look real. It doesn't look good. And this is an older piece that they've came huge advancements since then. These wooden poles, these look better. They don't look great. They could have used some more texture on them. I like the paint job on it. I like the fact that they have a mixed media rope tying them together. Here's the cat pedestal. Again, it looks like Garfield almost. Doesn't look like a badass cat. So I think that was a miss, more of a conceptual thing back there. So next we're going to move to Black Panther, and just so you guys know, it was difficult to get some good shots for you guys, but at the end there will be some close-up video and music as usual. Let's start with his boots. Boots are okay. No texture or anything on them. Some decent folds, not really any stitching. The sculpt of his calf muscle, you can start to see the variation on that. But then when you move up to his pants, I like this a lot. So they have this outer texturized aspect to it, which there's a little bit different color of shading in the blacks to mix it up a little bit. Great musculature, great anatomy on this, especially those thighs and the muscles around his upper legs. Very, very cool. And you can't see it really well, but he has this black silver belt, which really separates the monotony of it, and it looks pretty cool. Jump to his arms really quick. First, his hands. I love the glistening effect on his claws. They look like metal claws. You can actually see yourself in them, so it's not like silver paint. I think it's chrome. I think that was a fantastic addition. Great sculpt on the gloves. Very cat-like. And then the anatomy on his arms is fantastic. Very muscular, very buff. And you have these different aspects. You have the sculpted rope around his arms and the bracelets. Silver paint on him looks great. It's a little bit different silver than the belt, I think, or maybe it's just the lighting. Check out the shots of his torso here. Couple things going on. So first, on the outside, they have that texturized pattern that I talked about in his legs. The musculature, not only is it really good, but it flows with the statue. So because he's at an awkward position, they didn't put his muscles in a typical symmetrical fashion. They actually put them what they would probably look like with this weird pose. So that was very smart and very well done. Again, the black shading on the costume's great. He has this necklace. This is sculpted. Looks really, really cool. Has some of those tiebacks to the African heritage in Wakanda. Look at his spear. Also very cool. While it is a pain in the ass how big it is, it's done really well. And on it they have some more mixed media, some leather wrappings near his arm. Just mixes up the statue well. Here's his cape. Great job on his cape. The flow of it really is awesome. It really makes it really complements the pose. Let's start with his unmasked portrait here. Great coloring on this. Very serious, very stoic look. I like that a lot. Interestingly enough, he has orange eyes, and the eyes look like decals, so I think they could have done a better job on that. But the rest of it, it's done very well. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Here's some close-ups of the hair for you guys. But I much, much prefer the masked portrait. This looks great. Has a lot of the same things we were talking about with the body. Some smooth and texturized, almost some cracking in it. The white eyes. This looks like a badass character right here. Honestly, I would give the base a 2 with paint and sculpt. I'd actually grade them the same, and I'd give the character a 4. So we're gonna do it right in the middle. I think it's V. Very nice for both. The paint and sculpt. I think what would really knock this piece out of the world is a custom base, and a custom base that elevates him, so you could put him up a little bit higher with some other characters. That would be awesome. I know some people have modified this base, but a brand new custom base would be great. So let's give him an overall score. Few people have asked, so is the overall score the average of the other scores? No, it's just my gut feeling. And honestly, while the base does have significant problems and the design is a pain in the butt, if I'm staring here looking at him, this is a rail statue, guys. This is 4 out of 5. It's pretty freaking cool. It'll be interesting to see if some of the new ones knock this out of the park. I have seen that the price of this has slightly lowered. Like I said, now you can get it for like $900, where $1,100, $1,200 used to be the minimum, with the anticipation of some of the customs and Sideshow doing one. But yeah, big fan of him. I don't want to get rid of him now, but I don't need more than one Black Panther, so I got to figure that out. Maybe we can do an Extrumble. If you're new to the channel, an Extrumble is where we compare and contrast two statues of the same character. If you want to win that Venom statue, make sure you have subscribed to the channel and hit that bell notification after liking this video. Stay tuned. When we hit 10,000 subs, we will launch the video for that. But comment below who your favorite Avenger character is. Is it Black Panther? Is it Thor? Let me know in the comments. That'll also enter you for the monthly giveaway. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will talk to you later. Here's some close-ups. Take care.